رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا إنا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما الرحمن لا يملكون منه خطابا يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة صفا لا يتكلمون إلا من أذن له الرحمن وقال صوابا ذلك اليوم الحق فمن شاء اتخذ إلى ربه مآبا أنذرناكم عذابا قريبا يوم ينظر المرء ما قدمت يداه ويقول الكافر يا ليتني كنت ترابا
And then Rabb has been given further another attribute. This is the same Lord, and this is why Rabb is majroor here, Rabbi, because it's the adjective of Rabbika. Okay? Rabbi samawati wal ardi wa ma baynahum ar-Rahman. The Lord of the heavens and the earth and whatever is in between them, ar-Rahmani. Again, that same Lord happens to be the excessively merciful. When Allah speaks of a mercy that He's doing right at the moment, He doesn't use Rahim, He uses Ar-Rahman. Rahim is general. It's potential mercy. Allah is always merciful, yes. But when there's a special occasion of mercy, then Allah doesn't just say Ar-Rahim, He says Ar-Rahman. So Ar-Rahman is used here because the special mercy is being given to the believers on the day of resurrection. لا يملكون منه خطابا. They will have no control. They will have no ability, no power whatsoever. And then this is the case of the kuffar. لا يملكون منه خطابا is for the kuffar. But then Allah says something else. لا يوم يقوم الروح والملائكة. So the day on which Jibreel alayhi salam, ar-ruh will stand, wal-malaika, and the angels. So ar-ruh wal-malaika. What's interesting is in other places in the Quran, we find the reverse sequence. تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالْرُوحُ. Right? Here we find the ruh and the angels. There's a reversal in the sequence. Why? One of the scholars of Balagha, for example, Al-Sha'rawi rahimahullah, commented on this. And he said that whenever you find movement, a lot of movement, then angels are associated with going up and down in constant movement. And there you find malaika mentioned first. And when you find responsibility, then who has the most responsibility among the angels? It is Jibreel alayhi salam, so he is mentioned first. So here, this is the place of the utmost responsibility, standing before Allah on Resurrection Day, so Jibreel alayhi salam has been mentioned first. Allah says even a ruh will be standing, and all of the angels will be standing in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, saffan, standing in straight rows, لا يتكلمون, they won't be uttering a word, إلا من أذن له الرحمن, except for the one who the most merciful has given permission. وقال صوابا, and even if he does speak, he will say that which is true. Now, ذلك اليوم الحق. Now there's three grammatical ways to look at ذلك اليوم الحق. One way to look at it is ذلك is مبتدا and اليوم الحق is خبر. What that would mean is that is the true day. The translation would be that is the true day. Another way of looking at it is ذلك اليوم الحق. That day is the truth. So ذلك اليوم is the مبتدا and الحق is the khabar. And ذلك اليوم الحق, the third way of looking at it is that you should know that in fact this, what we're talking about, this is that day, that true day that is coming. So it's a fragment altogether. But the rajih, the closest to correct opinion, which is endorsed by the majority of the Ahl Sunnah Mufassirun, is ذلك اليوم is mubtada and al-haqq is khabar. In other words, that day is in fact the ultimate truth. فَمَنْ شَاءَ اتَّخَذَ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِ مَآبًا. Then whoever wants, let him find ma'ab towards his Lord. Let him hold on. Ittakhadha means to hold on to something. Not just to hold, but to hold on to it. So whoever wants, let him hold on to a path that will lead towards his Lord. And it be a ma'ab. Now ma'ab was used already in the surah. Right? Allah Azza wa Jalla spoke about Jahannam being ma'ab. Right? But now he's speaking about another ma'ab. You want a place of return towards your Lord. So whoever may want, let him find a refuge, find a place of return towards their Lord. And then in conclusion of this surah, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Inna andarnakum. Allah did not just say andarnakum. Andarnakum means we have warned you. We have warned you. Inna andarnakum means it is no doubt we who have warned you, not anyone else. The kafir thinks Muhammad is warning us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah is letting him know, it is in fact we no doubt that are warning you, meaning Allah is warning you. Don't think this is warnings of a man. This is the warnings of the Lord of the worlds. Inna anzarnakum adaban qariban, of a punishment that is near. We said before, remember sayalamun thumma kalla, sayalamun, the sa was for closeness, the conclusion is also closeness. يَوْمَ يَنْظُرُ الْمَرْءُ مَا قَدَّمَتْ يَدَاهُ, the day on which every single individual person will see whatever their hands sent forward. This is an expression in the Quran commonly misunderstood. What it means is most of our actions are done by what? Our hands. And when our hands do an action, where does it go? It gets recorded. And then it gets sent forward. So the idea is whatever you've done is basically already been archived and sent on record, and it will be brought out of those archives and displayed before you on a day that is coming ahead. وَيَقُولُ الْكَافِرُ, and as a result, the disbeliever will say on that day, in other words, يَا لَيْتَنِي كُنْتُ تُرَابًا. Really, there are no words in English that depict the power of يَا لَيْتَنِي. يَا لَيْتَنِي, the closest thing in our times is a person who is so sad and so scared and so overwhelmed that they don't have any words. When you're speechless and dumbfounded, kuntu turaba, if only I had been reduced to nothing but dust. if I was nothing but dust. So on this, before this comes, this arrogant kafir is walking around in arrogance, thinking that he has no accountability. إِنَّهُمْ كَانُوا لَا يَرْجُونَ حِسَابًا. And on that day, he's hoping he was nothing. He was reduced to dust.